This mug was given to me as a gift from a student, and I thought it was pretty funny. In general, I don't like to receive gifts. However, this one, yeah, I couldn't quite turn down. Anyway, a little industrial tip for you. When you're talking, sometimes your brain locks up and you're just lost. And so at that moment, what you need to is a go-to line. And it buys you a few seconds. It gives you a chance to reset and start over. It's happened to me in the middle of the talk. And what is my big line? I was born of poor but noble parents. And so once in a talk, I froze for a few seconds. Everybody's staring at you. And I just said, "Oh, did I remember to tell you that I was born of poor but noble parents?" Anyway, back to our talk. That gave me enough time to figure it out. So this past weekend, my 13-year-old granddaughter actually gave her maid of honor speech, and she was nervous about it. Mostly that she was going to start crying and not be able to stop crying. But anyway, I told her about coming up with her line. And so I asked her, "Okay, what's your go-to line?" And she said to me, "I was born at a very young age." I cracked. I can't tell you how proud I was. Anyway, so what's going on in class? Okay, first of all, for those of you who are freaking out about quiz 2, class average was 65. The high score was 84. And that kind of indicates this was a much tougher quiz, although here's the thing I can't quite figure out. The quizzes are all based on a database, and so they're like 200 questions that randomly pull. That's one way I try to stop cheating. And I've been giving this same quiz for about 15 semesters, and congratulations, you have the lowest class average ever. For those of you who are freaking out about the score, though, I haven't curved it yet. And what I do is I curve you up to an 82, which means that if you do an average on this quiz, you get a B. And I do, grad students I actually grade tougher, but for undergrads, you get a B if you do average. So those will be curved in the next couple of days. So I wouldn't be too worried or concerned about it. Now, how much do we have left? Okay, PM4. I haven't done the tutorial, and it was going to be due this Thursday. And unfortunately, I've run out of time. So what I've done is I give you an extension. And that tutorial will be up either Wednesday or Thursday to go through it. Although this PM was actually pretty short. Now, what's left in the class? First, you have your simulation. And you have a lot of opportunities. But the simulation, it's basically about experimenting. If I change this and change this, how does it go? Does it go up? Does it go down? And you can try, I forgot how many attempts I gave you. I think I gave you like 10 or 20. There's actually 3 scenarios. You have to do 2 out of the 3. One of them you only have to do once, and then you could pick one of them and just keep repeating it. And I just take your highest score. And how high is the score that you have to do well? Well, you're compared against the rest of your peers. In the past, 700 or better tends to be an A. Now, in terms of the end of the course, there's the PMP, which is I think it's a 100-question exam, and it's heavily curved. Like if you can get 80% right, that's 100. And why do I do that? Because if you get 80%, you pass. And so if you can pass, that's all you really want to do. And so it's curved like that. I think the lowest score you can get is like 80-something. Now, it is optional for you. This exam was designed for the grad students. And so you have to do something that separates grad and undergrad. So you get the benefit. What does it count as? The score you get on this it counts as 2 quizzes. And now, what's to prevent you from just coming in, taking 1 question, and then having it count as 2 quizzes? And that's you have to make a good faith effort, meaning you have to answer every question in the quiz. I haven't had anybody yet who's really, I mean, in theory, what you should do is just write C, 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 be done with the exam in 10 minutes. And, okay, well, what if the quiz doesn't count against my quiz average because the score's too low? Well, then I add like 5 points to 2 quizzes or something like that. A lot depends on how much you've done above average, but you'll get a minimum of 5 extra points each. So you have some incentive to take it. And if nothing else, what do you have to lose? Anyway, I will get that tutorial up and running, and I hope you all have a great week.